Hello, good evening. Welcome to Bengaluru. This is the FIBA Women's Asia Cup 2019, and it's the Group A game between Japan and India. Well, the Japanese fans that have made the journey are fully expecting to get a big win tonight, and one that they hope will they'll use as a launch pad for a fourth consecutive FIBA Women's Asia Cup title. It's quite a run that they've been on, and you know what, they've got some tough competition this summer as always, but they certainly believe in their chances. They'll be taking on an India team that starts as big underdogs in this one. Already today, Australia, Korea, and China getting wins. The closest game was Korea, Chinese Taipei, although China did have a really tough time against New Zealand for much of their contest before ending up with a rather large margin of victory. So Japan are hoping to spoil the party here in Bengaluru. I'm Jeff Taylor, joined once again by Mark Mills, and as some of the coaches take in the action, Mark, I think we pretty much know what we're going to get from Japan tonight. They're going to come out and they're going to play fast. They're going to pass the ball around, and I'm expecting a big win from them.
Yeah, and they'll want to get the job done early. That's probably the biggest thing for Japan. They'll want this game, if they can, sealed out by the half time. They don't want this to be hanging around. They want to be able to maybe play with their rotations and use it. And for India, their job is obviously going to be to make sure that they spoil the party somewhat. And there's a few hundred people in the arena now, so I expect a little bit of noise. The Indian crowd aren't going to sit there quietly. So it should be a very good game.
Yeah, the India team certainly can come out and make some big plays. They know how to thrill the crowds, but boy, Japan, you know, you're talking about a team that really has kind of redefined basketball in Asia, in my opinion. The way they've come out, and every time they go to a FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup or an Olympic Games, you know, people are talking about Japan. You know, this is a team that really has a chance to get to the podium. Tom Hovas, we talked to him a lot yesterday, the American coach who's lived in Japan now for a long time, and he's been a part of this program for a long time, a lot, you know, before as an assistant coach. And he just exudes confidence and says, you know what, we are what we are. We've got to outwork people, and that is the approach that they've taken. And against India, you know, it's the type of thing that India, if they looked at how Japan approached basketball, they could probably learn a lot. But they do have some very skillful players in this India team, and you know, they always have the home court advantage. So we will see how they come out tonight. It's a great honor for them to be able to host it for 2 consecutive FIBA Women's Asia Cups in a row.
Yeah, it's an exciting time for India. You know, they're a seedling organization that will aspire to be a Japan of the future, maybe.
So we are now going to pause in the commentary for the playing of the national anthems for India and Japan.
We start with the national anthem of Team Japan. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Team India.
Always a joy to hear the national anthems played before the start of the game. And also nice to see the teams shaking hands beforehand as well. So we are about ready to, just about 3 minutes away. We'll get a look at the referees as well tonight. There they are. So Ryan Tristan from New Zealand in the middle. Wacharan Padungrat Chadikat from Thailand, and Wang Zibo from China on the right. And we'll get a look at the rosters. This is my favorite part of the game, but I'm going to give it to you, Mark.
That's always good of you to give it to me. So yeah, India obviously winning promotion from Division B in the last kind of incarnation of the Asia Cup. This is a real step up in class and be a real test tonight. But they've got, you know, players in there that can do it. Scaria, 13 points, 5.8 rebounds. Lemaye, 8.8 points, 8.2 rebounds in their Division B tournament. So there's certainly talent within the India roster. It's just whether they can step up the level.
Parker Sankar, Steffi Nixon, Bandavia, Gina Scaria, and Lemaye in the starting five for India. There's Lemaye. She's a solid player, been a part of this program for a long time. I remember watching her play back in 2013 in Bangkok, and she certainly had some bright moments last year or 2 years ago when India played and hosted this event, albeit in Division B.
It was interesting having that conversation with Coach Hovas yesterday and saying, you know, he knows where his team is, even though they're reigning champions, about to potentially make history by being the first ever team to win 4 Asia Cups in a row. He was like, the work ethic has got to be where we're at. And the likes of Tokashiki and Takada, obviously Tokashiki 2 times MVP from the Asia Cup, just talent pouring through the roster. And him and his team have that humility about them, which is just so wonderful to see in modern day sport.
So Takada, who was terrific at the World Cup last year, Tokashiki, Machida, Morikawa, and Akaho in the starting 5. Interestingly, you know, Tokashiki, who has played at the WNBA with Seattle and, you know, this and that, you know, she's played many of the big games. You talk about the 2 MVPs. She wasn't there 2 years ago when Japan won against Australia. So it just kind of shows where this Japan program is at. You know, it's a style of play. They've got really good depth. They don't have Manami Fujioka, unfortunately, the exciting point guard from 2 years ago. She had the hip injury, so she's out. Zoran Visic, the coach, still the coach for India 2 years later.
So much experience as well. He's coached in Serbia, Montenegro, Romania, Russia. He's coached absolutely everywhere. And it's exactly what the Indian program needs. Someone that's been there, done that in so many different places, and ability to impart that culture.
Tom Hovas. Who's pulling the strings. We were talking about his old days back at Penn State yesterday when he was a player, and then he went to play in Japan. Interesting how basketball takes you to different parts of the world. Pretty sure that he wasn't thinking that his life was going to end up in Japan. Well, how exciting is that?
Yeah, both as a player and now obviously as head coach of the national women's team. And he seems to have really embraced it, you know. He's obviously brought his style and his own kind of culture and flair to it, but he's also embraced the Japanese way of doing things, and that's kind of been the recipe for their success. They've combined and made a melting pot of, you know, the American experience that he has and the Japanese way of doing things, and that's where the success has come from.
So Takashiki wins the opening tip, and we are off. Kahu has it. Takada, Kahu from the left, and starts things off with a three-pointer.
Yeah, no better way to get things underway than a corner pocket triple. Nakaho there obliging.
Now the quick hands from Ishida. She got nutmegged. Scaria hustles back, and Lamai comes up with the basketball for India. Ball goes out of bounds.
I like that as the first offense, though. No fear. You know, you're newly promoted back up to Division A. You're going up against the reigning champions, and you take it straight to them.
India well off. Rui Machida again in the same corner. Different result this time. Takada, Takashiki. And the ball goes over to India. Now quickly up ahead it goes to Takada. It's a layup. And to India, you got to get back on defense.
Yeah, it's the basic fundamentals. You know, you can accept that they haven't got the experience or maybe the skill level within their roster, but the basics of running transition defense and, you know, keeping a track of anyone leaking out and cheating on the defensive end for Japan is a must.
Penetrate in there. Third, what's the play? Let's go. Talking about, you know, to organize control this or let them make their big. Take your time. Take your time. Help her. You see that they force her on sideline, they make double team, so you need to help her. Let's go. Call one, call two. Call one and call two. Four, those.
Akaho started this thing off with a three-pointer, and it's always nice to be able to get your team off and running, so to speak. A little bit of token full court pressure here from Japan. Sankar hands it off to Lamai. Lamai on the baseline. Well, she had a good look. Scaria gets it back. And an opportunity there. Steffi Nixon not able to knock it, to put it in.
But it's a bright spark from India, you know. That early play, they're running a structured offense. They run it very, very well. A nice little short-range jumper. Unfortunately, no good for Lamai.
A quick pass to Takada. Scaria takes it, and fortunately India at the right place at the right time and laying it up and in. for their first 2 points of the game.
Great to hear the crowd making some noise, and that will make a difference for this Indian team, that's for sure.
Takashiki gets in, follows up her miss. Japan will keep it at this end of the floor. Oh boy, breakdown defensively, and then Motokawa doesn't make the shot, but then nobody's there to grab the rebound for India.
Yeah, but the stat padding gets herself an offensive rebound for the box score and gets herself the 2 anyway.
Bandavia, who scored the basket. Here's Steffi Nixon going to work and draws the foul. Good job going right at arguably the most famous player in Asian basketball these days, Takashiki.
She's got to be careful that high elbow though, crikey, right across the windpipe of Takashiki. She's Nixon's fortunate for that not to be called.
Steffi Nixon looking to have a big game tonight. And how often is it that you get to play in a home FIBA Women's Asia Cup, again on opening night, against a player like Takashiki?
It'll certainly be the biggest challenge she's faced so far in her career.
Machida drives in. Kahu again, showing why she's in that starting lineup.
Not what we expected. She didn't hit a three-pointer in the entire World Cup campaign last year, so a bright spark and a bright start for Akaho.
Sankar puts it up, and India attempt to save it, but unsuccessfully. I mean, those are no doubt about it threes, the way that she's taking that shot.
Yeah, just pure confidence. And as a shooter, it's the way you need to shoot the ball. If there's an ounce of doubt, it changes your form and the shot's not going to drop.
Oh, if you haven't learned your lesson yet, you better get a hand in the face. She's now hit her third consecutive three-pointer.
And I think she's trying to score as many points as her jersey number 88 here today.
And Hovas going to make some substitutions. Lamai, oh, doesn't go in. Takada quickly, the outlet. Motokawa to Akaho. Here's Takada. Lamai reached in, knocked it away from Takashiki. Steffi Nixon steps out and puts up an air ball from the free throw line.
And there's definitely some nerves you can see within the Indian team. Like you say, you speak to any player and they say playing in your home tournament, you know, is a huge honor. But the pressure comes with that, obviously, as well. She's got a big crowd here watching her, and that's going to, you know, that's going to play on her mind as well. And it's not just Nixon. There's been a couple of other airball shots or tough shots that they're taking.
Coming in and putting up the air ball was Hayashi. Nagaoka also in, wearing the face mask.
I've always wondered what it would be like to play in a face mask. I can't understand it not having an impact on your game. Surely it affects your visibility. You're going to sweat more. It's just generally going to be more uncomfortable. But you see some players, you see the stats that they have when they have a face mask surpass the stats when they don't. So maybe it's a good thing for some players.
Well, you could always just wear one and see what it feels like first. Wear it around town, wear it around the house. Ball goes out of bounds.
Just make a fashion statement.
I'm sure
I could be the man about Leeds. Yeah, I could be the man about the UK, walking around just generally in a face mask.
Well, we're in Bengaluru, India. A lot of rain outside. You can hear it pattering on the rooftops. And now the over and back forced. And India get the ball back. Good defense. Hovas questioning, wasn't that ball hit? Pass down low to Lamai. And India used up the shot clock to turn it back over to Japan, who lead it by 10 points. Kamari, the backup guard, trying to stay with Japan, and no chance that time as Motohashi drives past her.
Now, if I'm India, I'm going to start looking at different defensive options, potentially dropping into a zone. It's good hustle, though.
But there's 14 seconds on the shot clock, and that's exactly what Tom Hovas is saying right now. So it seems like that should have already been a backcourt violation.
Yeah, it should have been an 8-second call. Unless the shot clock was incorrect, and if it was incorrect, then obviously it should have been changed and stopped.
Or they could have let like a couple of seconds go off the clock after the foul.
Yeah.
Anyway, beautiful drive, aggressively going to the basket. Excellent move from Gita.
And that's what you want to see. That's a real strong veteran move from Gita. She's just 24 years old, and an important part of their Division B promotion. But yeah, wonderful to see such confidence and taking it at the Japanese.
Hayashi called for the foul. Tom Hovas out of your screen. You can't see him, still talking to the referees, wondering if maybe the backcourt violation should have been called, but it doesn't matter. They're going to get an easy one here. Again, they beat India down the floor.
Now, for me, if that's going to be a case for India, literally cheat on the offensive end. Just have someone stay back on the halfway line. If you're going to struggle to play transition defense to that extreme.
Good play by Lamai, getting down low and then making the pass. And good battling effort from the captain. Rajapriya Dashini in there doing a good job for India, number 12. Evelyn Mawali comes into the game for Japan, number 30. And here's Gita. See if she's going to drive anymore to the basket. She picks up her dribble. Now down low to El Capitan, and she's fouled while shooting the jump shot. So Rajapriya Dashini is going back, or going to the free throw line.
Yeah, it's definitely an important part of what India are going to do as well. She had 6 points, 6.6 boards in their Division B promotion campaign. Like I said earlier, it's a bit of a step up in quality when you're going up against the likes of Japan, but taking it at them, I think, is exactly the right tactic for India.
If you're India playing Japan, you don't want to miss 2 free throws. Well, they learned their lesson that time. They got out on the shooter. Kaho, though, gets the offensive rebound and puts it up and in. Scoring machine comes to mind when you talk about number 88. Lamai does a good job dancing into the lane. Did everything right but make the shot.
Yeah, Nagaho now up to 11 points in 7.5 minutes. 2 boards as well. And yeah, really lighting it up on the offensive end.
Here's Zakaho again. And well, the face mask, I guess you could say, possibly bothered Nagaoka shooting that 3. at least she has an excuse, right? There's the drive. The battle for the rebound. Here comes Japan once again. Oh, looked like a travel, and they've gotten away with it, but the finish was true from Nakata. Number 33.
Kumari sent to the floor there with the quick hands, but yeah, maybe a slightly dubious footwork though.
Lemai does a good job handling the ball and getting to the rim. Puts it up and in this time. She's definitely got some game, doesn't she? She's showing the world got game.
Yeah, absolutely. Only her first score, but she's certainly the one creating the opportunities for India at the moment.
Well, Mawuli's going to take a trip to the line. Look at this. Been a good first day of the FIBA Women's Asia Cup. We got here around noon, and we've watched 3 games already. And this is the 4th. Watching the 3-time defending champions, Japan, try to take it to the hosts. Takashiki and Takata looking on from the bench. But India had some good moments in this first quarter.
And for me, the thing you've got if you're India, as much as you come into every game to win every game, they'll have also set themselves a realistic benchmark. They're newly promoted to Division A.
And they're hustling, getting some rebounds. Nagaoka gets the block. Evelyn Mawuli facing the pressure. 3-point attempt is good. So Motohashi shows she's got the range. And now the lead's 25-7. Just sit back and enjoy this Japanese team, folks. Lemai has it taken away. Nagaoka into the corner and back up top. Japan might hold it for one. Nagaoka to Mawuli. Good! And that just puts an exclamation mark on an impressive first quarter. Lemai puts it up from a long way out. And India will go back to the bench, already trailing by a big number against Japan. Here it is again, and very unselfishly, Nagaoka gets it to Mawuli, who's looked pretty good today, coming off the bench.
Beautiful shooting form. No complaints on the form there.
That shot takes it up to 28-7 in favor of Japan at the end of the first quarter. Well, those are the early numbers, and it paints a very good picture for Japan, especially from 3-point range, 5 of 10.
Yeah, they've been absolutely on fire from outside, 5 of 10. You know, that's an impressive performance. The issue you've got is that India aren't really chasing out as hard as they need to be right now. They need to chase out those perimeter shots, and that lady there has absolutely made them pay. Akaho is 3 from 3 from outside, as well as an easy inside score for her as well. So she's leading everyone with 11 points at the end of the first quarter. But as expected, Japan are in full flow straight away, and India are struggling to keep up with them. The one thing I would say is, as I was saying before, that India will have sent themselves a sensible benchmark. You have to bear in mind, last time these two teams met was back in 2015 at the Asia Cup, and Japan beat India by 100 points. So being down by 21 at the end of the first quarter, that's not actually bad. That's progression. It sounds really bizarre, but that's progression for India, and they're not going to be too upset, you know. I think realistically, if they could stay within 50 to 60 points in this game, they would see that as a really strong performance and would give them huge confidence going through to some of the more winnable games and what you have to consider to be the more important games when they face, you know, some of the lesser teams in this tournament.
Okay, second quarter underway here at the FIBA Women's Asia Cup between India and Japan. Japan have just been one of the class teams from this region for a long time now, the last several years. 3-time defending champions, taking on India, who just won promotion. So showing a difference perhaps early in this first quarter. Takashiki able to get the ball to the corner. Now Mawuli. Takashiki knocks it out to Mawuli again. Dashane goes over to the bench, as well as Lamai now for India. As Vizic gets some more players, and Japan just completely fell asleep that time on the shot clock. Not sure what happened.
I'm not going to lie, I wasn't seeing the shot clock run down either. That caught me by surprise as well. So, yeah, it's just one of those that sneaked away. I think what they saw is when the ball got knocked away, they didn't see it as a change of possession, whereas maybe the Japanese did think it was going to be a change of possession.
Takashiki.
Yeah, Scary is going to always struggle in that situation.
Great hustle back by Gita. But then she loses the ball as she crosses midcourt. And a 2-on-1 break, but a traveling was called. And this time it's picked up. So traveling on Watanabe. Scaria has it now. And the pass kind of batted away by Mawuli, or interrupting Takashiki on the break. And she was looking for a foul as well. And you can see what Takashiki brings to the table. Her athleticism is off the charts.
Yeah, she really is very mobile. Very mobile for a big player. She's probably one of the most mobile we've seen today.
Look at this. Look how high up she gets. I mean, she is not that far away, is she?
No.
I.e. from dunking.
No, not far at all. And the great thing is just the agility and the body control she had there. Just, yeah, realistically, probably should have had a foul call, but still had the, you know, the control and the stability in her upper body to make sure she scored the two.
Yeah, we've seen them, seems like the refs letting them play a lot today.
Yeah, we've seen 4 reasonably physical games. We really have. We've seen, you know, scrappiness kind of breeds that, which we've seen in a couple of games and phases in most games. But, yeah, very physical basketball.
Mawuli from deep. Not this time. On the pass ahead to Scaria for the layup. And that gets the Indian fans on their feet.
Yeah, Lopamudra there with a wonderful pass, perfectly weighted, and it had to be. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened.
Did Mawuli intentionally try to throw that through the legs of Kumari?
Optimistically, yes. Realistically, probably not.
Was it Kumari or was it... I could be wrong, actually. It might have been Navanita.
Yeah, I think it was Navanita.
Three-point attempt from Machida, and the three-point weapon just continues to wreak havoc. Now another the turnover. 2-on-1 break. Mawuli fakes the pass, takes it all the way. Nice attempt. Takashiki with the rebound. Pass ahead. Oh, and the block called on India. Saw the contact with Motohashi. No, excuse me, it wasn't Motohashi, it was Watanabe, number 45. Watch this. And yeah, defense sliding in a little bit too late.
Yeah, just sliding sideways. Should have been allowed to make a move, keep going backwards, but you can't step across.
Oh, look at that, Takashiki. She's going to catch it that low. No chance for India.
No, none, and it's just basic basketball that's undoing India at the moment. There's nothing special or you know, superstar about this. It's just executing fundamentals very well.
But again, it's no surprise considering what their standing is in international basketball right now. Scaria misses. And Takada takes it strong, note denied. India with another chance, and Geeta, she has a knack for finishing, and she does with the left hand.
Yeah, wonderful, absolutely wonderful. It's great to see they don't lack that confidence to drive at the basket strong and really take it to the Japanese players.
Watanabe off the back of the iron. Scaria. And Machida just takes it away, just so clever. And now there's going to be no stopping her.
And this is the problem we see, you know, with India. They seem to have that first run. They can run through a first option on a play or maybe two options on a play, and then it seems to break down. So if they're still holding on to the ball with 7 or 8 seconds left, their options have gone. So they're left on one-on-one talent.
And Mawuli sticks her rear end out and commits the foul.
But impressed by Geeta. That first step is really, really quick. Quite cunning in how she's using it. She's cutting hard down towards the basket, and a couple of reverse layups we've seen. And yeah, she's looking like she's blowing a little bit at the moment though, but Geeta's certainly putting a shift in and impressing.
Well, I've been really impressed by Machida. No surprise. I mean, she's always good, but boy, Japan have had some great point guards. Good dump down low and missed opportunity. Good hands by Geeta, hustling back on defense, gets the high five from her coach.
And that's going to be a biggest part of anything in this game for India, is how they track back. What's their transition defense going to look like? Because Japan will cheat on the defensive end. They'll know they'll be able to leak out. Some of the guards will just leak out before the shot's even gone up. And you need to make sure that you're tracking back with them.
Motokawa for three-point range. No stopping that. And traveling is the call on India with 4:09 remaining in the second quarter. Japan really putting up big numbers here in the first half, and these 3 points from Motokawa helping them pour it on. Motohashi back to Nagaoka. There's Nagaoka in the paint and lays it up and in.
Yeah, Japan just putting India to the sword on both exterior and interior play offensively now. 50% from outside for Japan and 60% from inside. So very, very efficient offensive production from Japan.
Here's Lamai again. Lamai puts it up, and she was fouled attempting the three-pointer by Kaho.
Almost unforgivable, but she does have 11 points and 100% from the field, so we might let her off that one mistake. Yeah, just catching the wrist there of Lamai.
So Lamai makes the first of 3 free throws. Yeah, I don't think Hovas is going to be too overly concerned about the foul. But also, you know, shooters are so good these days that you do have to be disruptive out there on the perimeter. I mean, you just can't just give those things away, as we've seen tonight from Japan. You know, you're crazy if you don't get out there and put a hand in the face.
Yeah, sometimes overcommitting is almost the better option than undercommitting.
Oh, look at the spin! Oh, if she'd made that at Kaho, she would have done it all tonight. Motokawa misses. Now Lamai, open floor. And a push off, 3 seconds. Look at this. I mean, we have to look at it, even though it's a miss. Akaho, she's like, you like Xiaoting? How about this?
Yeah, certainly going to be a spin-off between Xiaoting and her when they match up.
Well, that's just a tremendous move. She just needs to have the ball go in the basket, and that would have been on the highlight reel tonight. Tough drive. Nagaoka fights for the rebound. On jump shot. No good for Motohashi. Gita. That's where she's good.
Just over 2 minutes to play in this first half. India shouldn't be too downhearted by how they've played. They've shown glimmers, and you know, there's moments where they've performed really well and they've found lanes to the basket. And if they could improve maybe a little bit more of a distance shooting and some of the more hustle plays on the defensive end, particularly chasing out shooters off the perimeter, then they'd be a lot closer to Japan. But they shouldn't be too downhearted by this first half so far.
India looked to counter. Scaria, well, not sure what was going on there. Gita ends up on the ball, on the floor, battling for the ball.
Yeah, Scaria just trying to use a pivot step a few too many times, lost the balance, and then it just became the mad scramble on the floor. But I don't have a problem with India scrambling hard for the ball. When you're the underdogs, it's part of the game. You have to be willing to dive on the ball.
2 fouls on Nakata. 1:39 now to go in the half. And India looking to get to the changing room to regroup. They'd like to shave into this deficit. And Mai pulls up and hits it. Further evidence of her quality.
She's been very impressive in this first half. She really has. She's got a few options on the offensive end, which is always useful.
Nice drive. Nagaoka. face mask doesn't seem to be bothering her that much. I think she looks kind of like a superhero with that thing on.
Do you know what? I was just about to say, does she go around going, I'm Batman? It's got that kind of feel to it, doesn't it? Maybe you do feel like you got superpowers.
I don't know what the superhero is in Japan.
I think they've got quite a few. I think that's part of their thing.
Godzilla?
Potentially. I'm not sure it's a superhero, but yeah, certainly an impressive character.
Good strong move. No finish. Nevertheless, Japan will keep the basketball.
Yeah, it's a shame. Nakada there with a wonderful little rip through, and it was all off that rip through of the arms that created the space to enable her to take that first step along the baseline, but once again just couldn't quite get it to go.
The miss and the follow. Well, Kaho's done so many good things tonight. And now Japan have it. I don't think they're going to wait around for the shot clock, and they turn it over.
Yeah, looks like Coach Visic wants to talk it over for the last 19.6 seconds, draw something up on the board. And it's a wise move, really. You know, in a game like this, if India can run a set offense and get a score going into the locker room, it would be a great way for them to finish this first half.
Well, honestly, Kaho has been terrific in this game, but, you know, going back to that vitally important topic about the superhero that perhaps Nagaoka is looking like, I can't find one that resembles anything, so I'm just going to go with Ultra Woman. Okay. Not Ultraman. Okay. Ultra Woman.
Okay, Ultra Woman. I think it might be homework for you. It feels like it's something you're going to have to come back and present to the class tomorrow. That's how it feels.
Let's listen, see if we can listen into the coach. Well, I didn't win too much from that. Kaho with the 13 points. It has to be, you have to say with Japan, it has to be interesting that every tournament they seem to kind of like unveil a new star.
Yeah.
Now, okay, they're playing India tonight, but if Kaho is hitting these three-pointers like this, you know, 2 years ago it was Fujioka.
Yep.
Before that, obviously, Takashiki back in 2013 and 2015. But look at this, Kaho. And we also saw a spin move where if she had made it, that would have trumped everything. That would have been her play of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Two of the younger ones, Kaho and Nakada, have made their impact felt in this first quarter. And like you say, it just feels like a little bit of a conveyor belt.
Oh, well, what can we say about Lamai? She just comes out and gets the job done. The only thing she did was maybe take it too early because Japan go right down and score right before the end of the half. And you know what? That is what Visic will be telling them. We got to come back and play defense. I mean, you can't, I don't think you can blame Lamai for taking the shot when she did because she had an open look, but you got to play defense.
When you've only scored 16 points at that stage, you're going to take the open shot.
50-18, Japan on top of India at halftime. Well, the numbers confirm it. 7 threes for Japan, 14 of 25 inside the arc. India have yet to hit it from deep, and they're really struggling to put the ball in the basket. They've got those 7 makes from the floor, and Japan out rebounding them 29-16. Also, the assist numbers and steals are up for Japan, and the 13 turnovers for India. So no surprise. Japan up 50-18 at halftime. The 3-time defending champions playing like the three-time defending champions. We're at halftime. We'll be right back.
They have the population. We just need to get them away from being infatuated with cricket and to start being infatuated with basketball a little bit.
Well, Himawari Akaho certainly, she must have been inspired by somebody, but she's definitely doing some inspiring herself right now. You see the 13 points. She started like a house on fire, hitting those three-pointers from the left corner, from the wing. And again, you know, she almost scored with that terrific spin and drive. So it's going to be an uphill battle for this India team in the second half. And I guess Coach Vizic really says, listen, we got to try to play well. We got to do things better, and so we can play better and be ready for that next game.
Yeah, I think for India it just comes down to isolating every single play. That's what they want to be. They want to be competitive in every single play and not, you know, get overly caught up with what the score is. For India, that's not what this is about. At the moment, it's you know, it's more about developing and gaining experience, and that's exactly what India will get here. Like I said before, if they can stay within 50-60 points, which they're on track to do now, that's a good result. If they can get to the end of the game and they're within 50 or 60 against what, you know, you must consider one of the best women's team in the world, not just Asia, but one of the best in the world. That's not bad for an up-and-coming basketball nation like India.
Japan currently number 10 in the FIBA Women's World Ranking, presented by Nike. Of course, those rankings consider, you know, not just their most recent results, but go back several years as well.
Yeah, and their performances in the Asia Cup over the recent years has certainly helped them in their rankings. They're third in the Asia zone. China and Australia sitting above them, but who knows? The results here at this Asia Cup could change that. That could really bounce them back up, potentially taking top spot.
Second half underway. Japan with the ball, now attacking the basket to the right in front of their own bench. Right on your screen, and Takashiki hands it off. And the ball ends up with Takata. She hasn't really been needed to do much tonight. And good defense, forcing India out of bounds. Motokawa sealing the baseline there.
And if you're Coach Hovas, this is what you're using this game for. You're honing those finer details, making sure that your team aren't being complacent.
Oh! Well, there's no complacency in that shot from the star player. One of the star players of Asia, Takashiki. 7 points. A long three-pointer. That's Kamari who attempted that one. Now Kaho feels her way inside. And Takashiki called for a push down the low block. She's like, what?
Walks away with a smile on her face, though.
A grin.
Yeah, yeah.
Watch this, see if we can see it. A lot of Japanese fans here supporting their team behind us. Good box out from Takata, gets it to Machida. Look how quickly they get the ball up the floor. And Lamai commits the foul. So it sends Japan's Motokawa to the line.
It's just how quick Japan can punish you in those situations. Do you know what I mean? They get out so quickly and so fluid, and they seem to know which lane each one of them is going to run, which cuts they're going to make, when they're going to make the cuts, what their strengths are. And that's going to take them a long way in this tournament.
Kawa makes the free throws, and now it's a 55-18 advantage. Starting point guard back in the game now for India. Barka Sankar. Machida picks up the ball, the rebound. Now back over to Takada, looking at the corner. She's wide open. Motokawa's going to put it up, and it's good.
Beautiful vision for Takada. That's what made that. Straight away, she's looked cross court. She's seen the spot up, and she's found it with a perfectly weighted pass, perfectly timed as well.
Demai has it knocked away by Takada. Now Akahu has it. Open floor. She says, let me just finish this. Silky smooth.
Man, needs to keep her personal tally ticking over, up to 15 now for Akahu.
Sankar's pass telegraphed and almost taken the other way for another 2.
And it's key for India not to get caught up in this kind of hysteria feeling when you're in this back and forth affair. Slow down, take your time, take control of the game. Don't get caught up in a quick game which is going to play into Japan's hands, because they have the experience to understand how this game's going to move. If I'm India, I want to slow things down. I want nice, steady half-court offenses.
Navanita passes it back outside. It was intended for Barndava Aya, and she's not able to get it back up the floor in time, so the shot clock violation. Motokawa gets it back, penetrates. Machida, this time Akaho. And Takashiki with the rebound, goes back up, and she will go to the line for that potential three-point play.
And that all runs off the back of Motokawa and the fact that she knew that the defense were going to chase her out too hard on that corner 3. And as soon as they overcommitted to her, she made them pay. She made sure that the whole defense was disrupted, and the quick ball movement eased Japan's options.
That's the second. I wonder if she developed a love for coffee when she was in Seattle. I have to ask her that one. There's so many good things about Seattle. I've never been there.
No, not me. Not me.
And I've always wanted to go. It's one of those I have to go there places. And Takashiki's not even from my country, and she's been there. She lived there. Now she's back on the bench. So Steffi Nixon comes back into the game, the center for India. What'll be interesting to find out from Takashiki is how was that a good move as Lamai attempts the jump shot. Was that a good move for her career in terms of helping her become a more complete player? I mean, if you're playing against that type of competition, it would stand to reason that she's gotten better.
Yeah, you have a feeling that the more experience you can get from different styles of play in different leagues, the better you're going to be, no matter where it is, really. You see a lot of players come over the European leagues and they learn a lot from that. Then they go to the WNBA, and different style, different competition, different way of playing the game. And I don't think it's a bad environment to be in, just generally the WNBA, the support package that the players get, and the kind of around the sport stuff that they have really develops them as general human beings rather than just basketball players as well.
Well, it was interesting talking to Hovas about the Japanese league, and he was really singing his praises, saying how it's a good league, they earn good money, and really it's where you want to be. There's Gita. Nixon turns, and with a presidential move, puts it in.
Yeah, I'm loving that move from Nixon.
But then quickly the response, Nagaoka, Ultra Woman.
And that's killer. When you're India, you struggle so hard to get your points on the board, and then you just gift them straight back again within 3 seconds.
Gita lost it. She was maybe going behind her back, and Nakaho then has it knocked out of her hands. Rui Machida decides to to dance with the ball, deliver the no look to Nagaoka, who missed it badly. And Gita bounce pass. How did she get that off? Give her the assist. Good play from Gita. And the finish by Scaria.
Yeah, the 24-year-old definitely impressed me. She's got a little bit of maturity in the way she's playing the game. She's not getting flustered by the experience or the environment that she's in. And smart heads-up play. She kept going. What looked like it was going to be a jump ball situation, and held possession. And she pulled it away and kept her eyes open for that cut.
She kept the eyes on the prize. Look at this. This is Nixon. Nice low post move. So Gita goes and sits down. Motohashi launches it. Now Lamai, open floor. And just Stephanie Nixon gets it. Tough shot. Scaria. Motohashi. Wow, India she just lulled them to sleep. She pulled up and then she's like, oh, I'm gonna go all the way. Gotta wake up. Well, Lamai taking a very tough shot there early in the shot clock. Motohashi again goes baseline, bounce pass Nagaoka, blocked by Lamai.
Just want to pick up the issue India have at the moment is on this transition defense. They need to change the mindset. As soon as you see a shot up, as we see a quick replay of the last play, as soon as you see a shot go up, if I'm not rebounding the ball, I'm chasing back and playing defense. At the moment, they're watching to see who else is going to rebound the ball. Either go after it or chase back. They're your two options. There's no halfway house, and at the moment, that's where India is sitting, in that halfway.
And Akaho is sitting in the penthouse, baby. She is wheeling and dealing, pulling all the strings, 17 points. Lamai getting ready to take on Akaho. Gets swatted by Akaho. Motohashi over to Akaho. Well, Akaho is the player of the game for me right now. Mawuli. And Akaho goes to 19 points.
She's doing absolutely everything at the moment. She just picked up her first block, 2 steals already, 3 rebounds and assists, and like you say, 19 points off shooting almost 80%.
Give that assist to Tamami Nakata. Here's Lamai. Again. Akaho chases it down, puts it up and in, 21. She's just like, let me get to 30, coach, and then I'll sit down.
Yeah, for me, Coach Visic needs to call a timeout, really. He's starting to run away from his team. His team are losing their composure as well. They need to slow down and not get caught up in the game.
Nagaoka. Reaches in, and a good defense. Forces the possession arrow, and that was the bounce pass from Nakata to Akaho. And Hovas says, I think we've seen enough of Akaho. Let's get somebody else in there. So she sits down with 21 points. Into the game now. Hayashi, Saki Hayashi, number 27. It's the key, isn't it? You know, we've seen it time and time again for national team programs. You've got important games every year for these teams, and the good thing about Japan is you continue to see new players get minutes. And Coach Hovas looks like he is intent. You know, he doesn't just shut up shop and say, I know what my national team pool is. He keeps bringing players into the fold. And you know, there are going to be times when a player like Manami Fujioka is not able to play because of injury, but that's okay because you got somebody else that can fill in.
And the way he was talking yesterday, it was great to hear how desperate these players are to be part of this squad. That's always a great place to be when you've got national team players just fighting for that right to be in that final 12 and the right to wear their country's jersey.
And of course, there's going to be a huge prize next year when they host the Olympics. So these players want to be a part of that. And obviously, Minami Fujioka knows she's hoping that she's not going to be injured. It was a sprained ankle, in fact, that kept her out of this year's team. Said she desperately wanted to be here, but probably exercising caution is the right decision, keeping her out.
And the thing you have for Japan as well, all the players here, as much as they want to go away with the gold medal for the Asia Cup, they also know that this is probably their first tryout for that Olympic roster as well.
Exactly. Pass to Mawuli. Gets it to go. Shooter's roll. Or shooter's rattle.
Yeah, up to 9 points now as well. 3 from 5 from the perimeter.
There's our call out of bounds. It often happens. This one is on Kumari.
Yeah, that unfriendly sideline that seems to be tripping up so many players today.
Nagaoka. Final minute of the third quarter. Japan cruising. Well, that was an awkward shot. Almost got it to go. Kokalera and Hashi misses, but there for the follow was Nakata, Tamami Nakata.
And this is what India need to work on, the basics there. Just letting someone drive straight down the middle of the lane. It doesn't take a lot for one of you just to assign yourself to block the lane, stay at home, protect the rim. It's really the basics that, you know, that Coach Visic is going to have to work on with this Indian team, because until you get these basics, you're not going to get the building blocks to build what Japan currently are, which is obviously one of the best in the world.
Final seconds ticking off the clock in the third quarter. And Hayashi puts an exclamation mark on that third quarter performance from Japan. They poured in 31 points, and these are the last 3. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
And it's both ends. 31 points they poured in. It restricted India to just 6 points in that quarter.
Well, you might not like it, but you have to applaud it. Japan on top, 81-24. Well, that was the 11th three-pointer there right at the end of the third quarter. Probably pretty standard for Japan to put up that many threes in a game.
Yeah, absolutely. The concern you have for India, if you're an underdog, one of the things you can rely on as a bit of a secret weapon is the outside shooting, and they're 0 from 7. So it's not only haven't they made any, they're not even trying them, which shows that maybe that's an area they need to look in their roster selection. Maybe they find someone that might not have an all-round game, but they can be a spot-up shooter, because it does alleviate pressure. It does change how Japan have to play defense. At the moment, they can sag off. They don't need to play straight-up defense on the perimeter, and they can just fill the paint, which is where India ultimately want to score most of their points. But they're going to struggle to do it until they can find someone that can score from outside as well. Japan have been very impressive, and it's difficult to see a weak link. Kakaho is obviously the strongest link that they've got by far. She's played an impressive first 30 minutes of this one. 21 points in just about 21 minutes, and shooting 82% from the field is phenomenal. She really has been very, very impressive. Efficiency rating of 25 as well, game high on that. And yeah, like you say, potential next superstar for Japan just rolling off the production line.
We've certainly seen our share. Of course, in 2013, it was all about Tokashiki and Asami Yoshida. Then it was, I mean, just several players really to be excited about in this Japan team. And if you've got players that are just battling, just dreaming, doing everything they can to make it, it is a good problem to have, isn't it? Nixon catches it. And, well, almost got it to go in. It was still a difficult shot.
Yeah, I like what Nixon's doing for India. She's battling. She's being that old school big, back to the basket, pivot moves, drop steps. It's definitely a good thing for India to have.
Yep, nobody boxes out Nagaoka.
The key for Coach Visic now in India is keep setting little goals. Yes, you're out of this game, but keep setting yourself challenges. Can we outscore them in the next minute? Can we, stop them from scoring for 2 minutes? What can we do? And that's the key in these stages, and that's how you're going to develop this team and really give them the hunger to win at the higher levels.
Mawuli, what a dump. Good D from India. Mawuli again. He's definitely got a nice stroke. Doesn't go down.
And that's what you love to see. Even when you're up by so many points, Nakada, they're just battling as if it's a tied game with a few seconds to play. She still wants every rebound, every loose ball.
Watanabe over to Mawuli. Margos Oka sets the pick and rolls, has the mismatch, and did they get it off in time? Nope. Wang Zebo, the Chinese referee, waves it off.
Yeah, just a split second too late.
He's our favorite Japanese fan here. He's not the only one. There's a bunch behind us.
He's literally run around the entire arena with that flag, waving it like a madman.
Where is he now? I don't see him.
He's over the far side. He's made his way all the way over to that corner now. He's making sure he explores every single stand we have here in the arena.
Good drive. I don't see him. Oh, has he got it down now? Oh. Well, it is a national team event. Aya Watanabe misses from deep. Mari penetrates, kicks it back outside. Lamai looks at the shot clock, launches it. I would have brought the house down if she'd made it.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'd have heard probably the loudest noise we'd had today.
Into the corner. Instead, it's going to be Japan, and they're going to hit another three-pointer.
Yeah, it's raining outside and it's raining inside. They just don't seem to miss at the moment. And it's not just one player either. They have so much perimeter threat.
Motokawa drills it. Just caught sight of the Japanese fan with the flag. He was really working it. 86-24. Lamai, good effort, but now it triggers another break. Motokawa drives in. Gotta appreciate the hustle. I mean, they set such a great example of work rate. It is unbelievable.
It's exactly what Coach Hovas was talking about. He was saying that he knows that they might not be as athletic or even as talented as some of the other teams in this tournament, which I take with a pinch of salt because there's a fair bit of talent in this Japanese roster. But he says we know we're going to outwork people. We have to be fitter. We have to be faster. We have to just literally out-hustle everyone.
I don't know what was more impressive about that play by Motokawa. Was it the fact that she beat India down the floor, or was it the fact that she made the shot after getting hacked?
Yeah, it's that concentration. And the thing you've got is having that motivation when you're up by 65 points. That for me tells you about a person and a professional athlete of where they are, where, you know, their maturity in the whole kind of grand scheme of things. And to continue and play at the highest level like this is really impressive.
Three-point attempt. Good. Hey, that raised some eyebrows. Madhu Kumari. Nagaoka now Watanabe. She's left open. Why not? Look at the hustle for the rebound. It was Tamami Nakata getting it back. Nagaoka. And this time India get the board. Do you think it's a matter of when rather than if getting to 100 for Japan, or do you think?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely a matter of when. It's at what point they're going to stop, really.
Sometimes in games like this, though, you think that and then it doesn't transpire. It'll be interesting to see if they get to 100. This is Gita, who has been one of the top players for India yet again tonight.
So I'd like to see India, if they could get the 35 or a knock on the door of 40 before the end of the game, that would be absolutely awesome. That would be a great achievement for them.
I have to say the work rate of the Chinese fan with that flag has slowed a bit. He needs to work a little bit harder. We're going to talk to Coach Hovas about that. Well, ball knocked out of bounds. Nakata trying to get in on the three-point shooting act.
Yeah, I think he's lost his enthusiasm for it after the 12th made three of the night. I don't think he was expecting to have to wave that flag so hard.
Is that the only thing he does? It's the three-pointers is when he celebrates. Mawuli, well, we'll check it out on the next three.
I think it's the thing that he really enjoys the most. Yeah.
Well, good attempt from Rajapriya Dashane. Navanita goes out. And back to Watanabe. Nobody picks her up, so she goes in and scores with the right hand. I mean, it's just further evidence of how this Japanese team just does not. I mean, it doesn't do any favors, does it, if you go out and you start to play lackadaisical?
No, not in a tournament like this. It's not like you can reset and go again. This is literally game, game, game. Every day there's a game coming your way. And
can't
for
switch it off.
No, for a team like Japan who want to go all the way and end up at the top step, they need to keep going for 40 minutes of every game. The great thing for them is they have 12 players that they can rely on, so their rotation enables them to do that.
Oh, good defense by Lamai, preventing that pass. Madhu Kumari, she's already hit 1 3. She's gonna, well, the captain thought she wanted to give and go. Nevertheless, to get it back, Scaria. And the obligatory stepping out of bounds called on Madhu Kumari.
Yeah, I'm surprised Kumari didn't try and free herself open for another three. You know, she was the first one to hit a three for India, and still the only player to have scored a three for India. And you kind of would think in a situation, what have you got to lose? Try and get yourself open and demand the ball and take the shot. Sometimes you can be a little bit too polite.
I'll tell you what, if you're an Indian player and you can really, obviously you want to work on all aspects of your game, but if you can learn how to knock down that three-pointer, you could find yourself getting a lot of playing time in this team.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
They really struggle for points. I mean, obviously, an opponent would zero in on you and take that away from you, but it would open up some other possibilities for the offense. Well, back into the game. Kaho, she's not finished. I thought that would have might have been the last that we would have seen of her.
Yeah, she's played 21 minutes now. You'd think that maybe that's enough. Call time on it, save her for later on in the tournament. Still plenty of games ahead of them. Plenty of time on the floor, and if she's going to have games like this throughout the tournament, then you definitely want to be saving her legs for the big games when every possession will matter.
All smiles on the Japanese bench. Japan, you know, they're going to have an opponent tomorrow, Chinese Taipei, that, you know, they're not going to roll over.
No, I think that could be an awkward one for Japan, if I'm honest. I think Chinese Taipei, they showed today how gritty they are and how they play basketball with that kind of hustle, and it'll be interesting to see how the Japanese team respond to that.
Look at the hustle. Watanabe really hounding him out there. Good box out by Nagaoka. We still feeling pretty good about the 100 mark for Japan. 2:53 remaining, 93 points.
Yeah. I've got the first beer at the bar. If not, I'll take the first round on this one. If
I think I owe you one.
Come on, Japan, don't let me down. That's what I'm thinking now. That's all I've got in my mind.
Good box out. But look at the tenacity from Nakata. And don't worry, they heard you. Saki Hayashi says belly up to the bar.
Yeah, gets her second. 2 from 3 for her, and it really is. If you want to see a shooting masterclass, Japan have been absolutely clinical from outside today.
Oh, behind the back pass. It was right there on the plate for Raja Priyadashine, but.
And I like the hustle. You know, Raja Priyadashine wasn't giving up on it. She dived in, she tried to secure that ball and strip it away, and that's great to see. It's great to see no one giving up on the play, even when you're at this point and you're down by so many.
Nakata whips it over to Hayashi. And Nagaoka will not be denied. And now it's 98-27, just 2 points shy of the century mark.
Yeah, and again, we refer back to the last time these two teams met. So India lost by 100 the last time they met back in 2015 at the Asia Cup. So this result isn't the end of the world for them. It's showing progression, and I'll be honest, they've shown glimmers and plays like that of, you know, fundamentally sound basketball. They just need to string more of those phases of play together and potentially have a deeper roster than they currently have that ability.
So this will be the trip down the floor that's going to get you excited. 98 points for Japan, closing in on the 100.
I hope so. I hope so.
Watanabe gets it over to Hayashi. Mawuli thought about it. Here's Hayashi. That's good. 101. Cha-ching.
There's the money ball. I can relax. I can relax now. Another player that's impressed me for India is Lamai, though. She's really taken the challenge on, and you can see she's one of those players that will probably relish the challenges she has this week in the Asia Cup, playing against high-level players and really seeing how good she is.
Well, Mawuli just shows her what you can't do against her. Just takes it right away.
Yeah, and these are the lessons you learn. And the thing you've got as a player, as much as you love being the best player on the floor, the best thing to be is not the best player on the floor, because that's how you are going to get better. And all of these Indian players at the end of this Asia Cup, no matter what the results will be better players for it.
3-point attempt from Lamai. Now Mawuli takes the bump. Final 14 seconds. Will India get something here? And the shot from deep goes out of bounds and back to Japan. So I'm guessing they're going to probably stop it.
Yeah,
inbound it and just let it go off the clock. So India, well, they came out and gave it their best, but Japan, too much class tonight. And those Vizic and Hovas shake hands. Japan roll to a big win here against the hosts with the most. They win it 103-27.
Great to see so many Japanese fans in the crowd as well, and they've enjoyed it. Right behind us, a whole host of Japanese fans getting their photos of the players, and we've certainly enjoyed the Japanese flag bearer as he's made his way around the arena as well.
Yeah, he's still waving it, and for good reason, because this Japan team has really put on a show. Look at us there. Thanks for that, cameraman, whoever you are. I don't know who's doing that, but that's the Japanese. They're the ones that deserve to have the camera on them after a performance like that. They left no doubt about it. They got out, had a great start in the first quarter, just as we expected that they would, outscoring India 28-7, and there was no way back.
No, and for India, if they want to make a bigger dent in this tournament, their three-point shooting has to improve. 1 from 12, 8%. And then you compare that to Japan, 14 from 36, just phenomenal. And again, the rebounding battle, my goodness me, 63-28 in favor of Japan, 22 offensive rebounds for Japan. India need to lock down that front court a little bit more than they have so far.
Sometimes when you know, stats are kind of insignificant in a game like this, but I guess you do have to kind of praise the likes of Akahu with the 23. Mawuli with the 4 steals. That was a quiet game high 4 steals from her. And see the Japanese players enjoying themselves as they walk off the court.
Well, they've earned that right with the performance they've put in tonight. It was always one that was expected to be this way, but you just never know how you're going to perform. But they all come out with good performances, and it's a good day one for Japan.
Jump shot. Another getting a look at those 3-pointers, but it was also, I don't know what most impressed me about Japan tonight. I guess it was probably the determination to execute the game plan.
And that's the thing.
Relentlessness.
Yeah, that's the relentlessness on execution is the thing for me, absolutely. Because it's easy in these situations. You get up by 30 or 40 points early, and you just get into this sloppy, lazy, street ball, horrible stuff that's actually really detrimental in tournament play. But they didn't. They kept to the game plan. They run their offensive structures. They run their offensive sets. And on the defensive end, they continue to be tenacious. And that's great, because that's set them up now. They're in kind of tournament mode. They're ready to go. And obviously, they'll now look forward. They've got, again, the afternoon tip-off for them, 3:30 here in Bangalore tomorrow against Chinese Taipei. Their attention will turn to that. It'll likely be a tougher challenge than they had today, but still a game that everyone is expecting them to win.
Yeah, and, you know, India, you know, they tried hard, and they had, you know, they had some moments tonight where they got the fans on their feet, but it's kind of hard to assess this Japanese performance in light of, you know, about India being overmatched, just like it was to judge Australia, you know, walloping the Philippines. So now we're going to get to see how good Australia and Japan are as they start to take on tougher competition. But I'd be surprised, certainly, if we did not see Japan go on and win the group, but who knows?
Oh, they've set themselves up to win the group now. Obviously, the last game in the group on Thursday will be the big one, and that's the Korean game. But like you say, what do you take out of this? Well, you take that Japan are ready. They've definitely come ready. Coach Hovas wasn't lying. He was telling the truth. They're ready to play, and they've come out and put an impressive performance. And you look on the flip side of it for India, like you say, you don't want to look at the box score too much because it's too detrimental and too derogatory to India for where they are in their development as a basketball nation and the women's basketball program. This isn't that bad. This is a relatively respectable performance, and hopefully they can build on that this week.
So this is what we saw today. Australia, Korea, China, and Japan all winning. And that is it for day one, finished off by Japan's 103-27 victory over India. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be right back tomorrow.